excited for our 4th episode, and I'm going to start with a disclaimer because I love giving disclaimers. I just like the word disclaimer, but I want to give a disclaimer. The first 2 episodes, I was really getting my feet wet, building that rapport with you guys, hoping that I form some type of connection. And in that 3rd episode, I hope you were able to see, I'm going to be providing more information, more detail, and how you can really have a different perspective in life. Because, we're having high-level conversations in a caring way, caring conversations. But with that being said, our 4th episode topic is, what are you waiting for? In a lot of my therapy sessions, I find myself telling my clients to just do it like Nike. And when I say just do it, I'm saying whatever they want in life, do it and do it now. Because I'm with the quote queen and I love quotes, I'm going to give a quote to you guys that I know a lot of you have heard, maybe most of you. But in the words of Ben Frank, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. And in coming up with this episode, I definitely remember this commercial by Everest College, and I'm just going to play it for you guys really quick.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now.
Anyways, I hope that helped you guys see what today's topic is all about. Just do it now. What are you waiting for? So in coming up with this episode also, because I'll be doing a lot of research for you guys. You don't even know, reading, which is very important. But I met this woman at a women's conference, and her name is Dr. Kanisha, and she recommended this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I'm going to read page 86 to help you further understand where I'm coming from today. How much of your life do you spend waiting? What I call small scale waiting is waiting in line at the post office, in a traffic jam, at the airport, or waiting for someone to arrive, to finish work, and so on. Large scale waiting is waiting for the next vacation, for a better job, for the children to grow up, for a truly meaningful relationship, for success, to make money, to be important, to become enlightened. It is not uncommon for people to spend their whole life waiting to start living. Waiting is a state of mind. Basically, it means that you want the future, you don't want the present, you don't want what you've got, and you want what you haven't got. With every kind of waiting, you unconsciously create inner conflict between your here and now, where you don't want to be, in the projected future, where you want to be. This greatly reduces the quality of your life by making you lose the present. There is nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. It is already whole, complete, perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances and your experiences. There is nothing wrong with setting goals and striving to achieve things. The mistake lies in using it as a substitute for the feeling of life, for being. The only point of access for that is in the now. You are then like an architect who pays no attention to the foundation of the building, but spends a lot of time working on the superstructure. For example, many people are waiting for prosperity. It cannot come in the future. When you honor, acknowledge, and fully accept your present reality, where you are, who you are, what you are doing right now, when you fully accept what you have got, you are grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being. Gratitude for the present moment and the fulfillment of life now is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then in time, that prosperity manifests for you in various ways. Okay, I really hope that helped you guys understand where I'm going today. And I just want to say the reality is there's no perfect moment to start. The time is always now. Each day is a chance to take that first step towards your goals, to cultivate the life you desire. Life is not about reaching a particular destination. It's about the experiences we gather, the people we meet, the lessons we learn along the way. But by appreciating the present, making mindful choices, and taking actions, we can craft a life that's more true to our essence. And I've tried everything from real estate to delivering babies. And through my journey, every goal or dream I've encountered, I told everyone who would listen. And this gets me into our first song of today, Big Sean, One Man King. Big Sean featuring Kanye West, John Legend, One Man Can Change the World. So I'm going to start that now.
Yes, look, think about it. Close your eyes, dream about it. Tell your team about it. Go make $1 million schemes about it. Success is on the way, I feel it in the distance. Used to look up at the stars and be like, ain't too much that's different. I be shining, they be shining. Get you.
Okay, I love that song. Like I said, the playlist will be available. Please listen to that on your own time. But I want to get into the lyrics. Look, think about it, close your eyes, dream about it, tell your team about it, go make $1 million schemes about it. Success is on the way. I know that's a lot, and I'm going to break it down. The first line, think about it, close your eyes, dream about it. Dreams will always only live in your imagination unless you take steps to make them goals. And in the first episode, I mentioned a quote by Brian Tracy, and I'm going to mention another quote of his about dreams. If you can dream it, you can do it. Your limits are within you. Whenever you get this great idea, speak it to life. Tell as many people who can listen. Like the next line goes, tell your team about it. Like I said before, whenever I had an idea, whether that was to be a real estate agent, a doula, a professor, an author, podcast host, whatever it is, I told everyone who would listen, my family, my friends, my clients, even strangers that I spoke to on the street. Like I could be going to an appointment for whatever it may be, and they ask me, how's your day, or what's going on in your life? And I'm literally going to tell them, because it gets, first of all, I feel like it builds that rapport with people, and now they can I'm creating this space like I do with my clients, this authentic space where people can open up, share what they have going on, and sometimes it may be some alignment there and you guys can work together and collaborate, or sometimes they may have I'll say ideas to expand your dreams or your goal, or have someone they may know, you know what, I have somebody who's kind of working on the same thing, maybe you guys can connect. But the more I told people about what I had going on in my life, the faster it was coming into reality. And not just accolades and titles, I'm talking about like the reason why I quit my job to spend more time with my kids. And I tell everybody that's why I now have that time to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to travel more, and I was able to do that. I was taking a trip at least once a month. But realistically, I just wanted freedom from the restraints of society. Like, I feel like society puts us in a box, and we get stuck in that box. Like, I gotta graduate, I gotta get a good job, I have to find that perfect mate. Like, and that's that timeline I was talking about. There's no timeline to life. You just really have to go for what you want and really do it now. And literally, the more I spoke, like I said, my goals, my dreams, they started to literally overflow tenfold. Like, whatever I wanted, it became bigger than what I imagined, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people believe that by telling other people what they're working on, that it will work against them, and I don't believe that at all. I think it's an excuse to limit yourself from doing what you want to do. I hear clients say, no, I don't want to tell people what I'm working on. People will pray on your downfall, or the devil is listening, or somebody will steal your ideas. Lots of reasons, but like I said, it's really excuses. I think in reality, the more you tell people, the more accountability it takes on your part. Now you got to take accountability for your dreams, for your actions, for what you want in life. And I'm like, I want to be held accountable for my dreams because I want them to be a reality. So why not tell people? If you feel like somebody is going to be working against you, they're not meant to be in your life anyway. Go build that support team you need. But like I said, talking to people will help turn your dreams into reality, because with the help of others, $1 million schemes can be discussed and success will surely follow. And this is an example of how some people see life as a cup half full versus half empty. I'm definitely a half full type of girl, but that's what life is all about. Perspective and choices. I remember having a conversation with a stranger, and she was telling me about this discussion she was having with her husband. And long story short, she asked, do you think depression is a choice? And she went on to elaborate how she felt like depression is a choice because the person has the choice to seek help. A person has the choice to seek guidance or whatever they may need to help them get out of that depression. And I agree, like, we do have the choices to make, but it's all about perspective first, because perspective is the lens through which we perceive and interpret the world around us. Our perspective is influenced by our upbringing, our experience that we've encountered, our beliefs. And as I mentioned in episode 2, two individuals can experience the same exact experience, but view it in their own unique perspective. I mentioned the siblings, and this is a choice, but based off their perspective, this is where the choices come in. And choices are the decisions we make based on our perspectives and available options. And we always have the power to choose our responses to any situation, regardless of how limited the options may seem. And I think altering our perspective expands our choices and leads to more positive outcomes. And I think that's what therapy is all about. Just having somebody give you a different perspective on what you're going through or what you've been through, so you can have more options and choices to make down the line or right in the present moment, because we're talking about now, And to get us back on topic of what are you waiting for, and connecting this episode with last week, like I said, there's no timeline to life. If you didn't graduate at 18 or 17, you can still go back to school, get that GED, go back to college, especially if that's what you want. Even if college doesn't start tomorrow, and it starts in January, the spring semester, you can go pick the college you want to, choose to go to. You can sign up for financial aid, pick those classes out, do whatever you need to do now. Same with if you want to buy a house. A lot of people don't know there's many resources. Same with if you ever wanted to start a business, start planning now. There are many resources, grants, different AI apps to help build or write that business plan. Same with buying a house. There are many resources to help people buy a house despite credit or money concerns. NACA, NACA, I've been telling a lot of my clients about this program. In the last year, I helped 5 people buy a house, not as their agent, but by providing resources to them. But NACA is designed to help low to moderate income individuals and families in getting a house. NACA is committed to helping the underserved build generational wealth through the process of affordable housing and financial assistance. And because we talked about relationships, and especially if you want to date somebody, shoot your shot today and date with intention. I'll end with that. But I tell my clients, if you can envision it, see the steps it'll take to get there, you can achieve it. Living in the moment and pursuing dreams today is vital, because it allows you to embrace opportunities, experiences, happiness, and avoid regret for not taking those chances, not taking those risks. Actually, I seen this thing today, which I feel like will greatly coincide with what I'm saying. I literally saw this today, and it's a quote. The risk you're afraid to take could be the one that changes your entire life. So take that chance, take that risk. It's about making the most of our present and creating a fulfilling life without waiting for an uncertain future, which gets me to our last song of today, Juicy by Notorious B.I.G. I'm gonna play it now.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock to my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo, sipping.
Okay, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard that song too, but I'm gonna do something different and mention a few lines throughout the song. It was all a dream. You had a goal. I went from negative to positive, living life without fear. I think the first few lines kind of correlate with what I've been saying about just living life, following your dream or goals in life. But I really wanted to expand on that last line I mentioned, living life without fear. Fear is what keeps most people from living in the now. A lot of what I discuss with my patients stems from fear what the future holds, which can lead to anxiety and worry, which I give most of my patients a diagnosis of generalized anxiety disorder, but that fear of the future causes that worry and anxiety. But fear of past mistakes or the past in general, which can cause that overthinking, that loop of analyzing what's going on in the present now. Fear of failure, which can cause stagnation. And I think that comparing oneself to others is definitely created by social media, but also it kind of relates to one of my favorite words I like using, especially in my practice, especially with my interns, even with myself, that imposter syndrome. We feel like whatever we're doing, we're not meant to do it, or we're not good enough to do it. I know when I first started doing therapy, I had this imposter syndrome, but I only had it because of how all of us was raised, like, and by TV, social media, things like that. I thought this therapist was having somebody lay on that couch, and I'm supposed to be having this notepad, and I'm supposed to be asking them, and how does that make you feel? And I do say that, but it wasn't really me. I wasn't being authentic. I was trying to follow this textbook. And then when I really just started to be myself and, just be open and honest, transparent, but also be willing to give them that guidance and things like that, things that I actually use to get where I'm at, like to make me feel good about myself, to know that I'm in control of my life, to know that whatever I want, I can get it, and I can get it now, especially if I do it now, And yeah, it started creating this. That's how I really became a good therapist, not by trying to be something I wasn't or try to do something a certain way. I did it my way, but we can all do a lot of things to be more present and be in the now and let go of that fear. Doing some mindfulness exercises like meditation. I do like meditating, yoga, things like that. Anything that makes you quiet that voice in your head, anything that makes you be more in the now. A lot of people like to do like zip lining, parasailing, things like that, because they're focused on really not, I'm being transparent, not dying, just literally being in the moment. And I feel like once you get past that, okay, I'm up here, I'm okay, you really focus on, wow, like, yeah, I'm doing this. But sometimes it's driving, sometimes people meditate in the shower, anything that keeps them so focused on the present that they're not thinking about fears or worry or stress or anything like that. Those are like mindfulness exercises and activities. But setting clear goals and objectives. And I'm not talking about long-term goals. We're talking about goals that can get done within the week. You setting daily goals, things that's gonna help you be the person you wanna be or live the dream you wanna live. Yeah, as I said, no long-term goals. I tell my clients, no, that's too long. We're not working on the year from now when you might not even be here. We're talking about today, right now, in this moment. What can you do to be the person you wanna be? And that's what we're focusing on. I'll give some people some grace around 3 to 6 months, but it's like the now. We have to be more concerned with the now. I tell all my clients every Sunday, make a to-do list for the week. Talk about what you want to get done and some of those things. And even now I'm working with clients setting those goals during our session, so I can hold them accountable for what they want to get done, whether that's eating better, going to the gym more, journaling more, doing affirmations, anything that's helping them be the person they want to be today. We're working on that in our sessions, and we're talking about what they want right now. And I don't know, I'm creating that space for them to make sure and give them that accountability piece. The person who's going to hold them accountable for their dreams, for their goals. And it should be the people around you, but sometimes you do need that other outside person who's really, no matter what, is going to help you achieve the goals and dreams that you want to be. And I feel like that should be your therapist. Talking about the past and what we went through, that's all good, but how is that going to help you right now? I want to help you right now live the life you want to live. But anyways, I'll definitely say affirmations, because in the words of Biggie Smalls, we going from negative to positive, like, and that's just the best way to be. And the only way you can do that is by speaking that positivity in yourself and keeping it more than just a superficial, I'll say, any affirmation that you feel works for you. Say what you need to hear, and believe it. And not only affirmation, but visualization. I think once you visualize the life you want, once you visualize the dreams that you want to accomplish, you can get there easier. So make sure you're visualizing yourself achieving your goals, your dreams, and being in that space, whatever it may be for you. And show yourself grace daily. Reflect on the positives that happen throughout the day. Some of my clients have gratitude journals, and when I get back to me being that imposter, I said me having a notebook. My clients have a notebook. They bring a notebook to our sessions and they write down, oh, you know what, that sounds good, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna use that. And I'm hoping that with these episodes, I'm hoping you can take, even if it's one line, like take something and use that to make you do something that you wanted to do, or you always thought you knew you could, but you just didn't have that right person in your ear guiding you, telling you can do it, because that's what I'm here for. But get a gratitude journal and talk about the good, and that's why I said, I know a lot of therapists may focus on that bad, but I'm like, even when we're talking about childhood, talk about some of those good times. That helps you remember more, because a lot of times we do suppress a lot of the things that we went through in life. But once you start showing yourself grace, speaking positive, you start remembering everything, because your body can handle those things that you went through. It's not repeating that trauma cycle. You're not feeling that pain no more, because you know it was a moment and you're able to receive it better. Even if you do cry a little bit or get sad, because of course sometimes it does, some of those memories do make you sad, but you're able to handle it now because you're in a healthier space. You're being more, I'll say, in control of your feelings and emotions. That's what it's about. But surround yourself with supportive people. Build a support network of people, and that's a therapist or life coach, whoever can help you, or if it's somebody on YouTube, whatever that source may be, and talk to them. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work, and I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's the truth. And lastly, educate yourself. Read those books. That's why I'm reading books, paragraphs, poems, whatever I'm doing, because I want you guys to get in the habit of reading. That's how you're going to know more. Knowledge is power, and it's empowering for you to live the life you want to. But learn about your dreams and equip yourself with those tools you need to succeed, because success is right around the corner, as that last lyric say in that line. But the more informed and prepared you are, the less fear will hold you back. I want to end with helping you get out of being in that autopilot mode, just letting life happen to you because you're scared to do whatever you want out of fear. But getting out of autopilot mode, getting in that driver's seat, not letting your emotions and feelings dictate where you're gonna go in life, not letting that fear hold you back. I want to read a passage from 19 Keys' book, Paradigm Keys. When I was writing this episode, doing research, I came across this book, and I was like, ooh, I think page 20 will really help sum up what I'm talking about in being in autopilot mode and basically living the life you want and doing that now. I think he was a part of the reason why I did so much, but I'll talk about that after I read this page. All right. Key quote: "The only interesting thinkers are those who wish to shift, evolve, and overthrow the current paradigm." Many people don't know where to start when it comes to reprogramming the subconscious mind. How do we start small in obtaining more knowledge for ourselves? We must introduce ourselves to new knowledge and experience. It doesn't take 21 days to make a habit. It only takes one. That's the day you start and the day you don't quit. But can you make it past the pain of breaking your current comfort? The neurons that fire off in your brain when you think about pain are the same ones that ignite when it comes to procrastination and tasks that you don't want to do. So thinking about what you don't want to do becomes painful. The only way to get over it is to do the task. When you decide to tell yourself that you're going to do a task and then proceed to do it, that's where the reprogramming kicks in and your brain no longer fires the pain trigger. I learned this lesson from my desire to know why I procrastinate and to re-educate myself on the process of how to learn. You need to be a seeker and find a purpose that's bigger than self. If you are selfish, you won't teach yourself anything new because you are content and complacent where you are. Find an effective way of learning, whether it's reading, listening to podcasts, or watching videos. Change the way you interface with your devices and who you follow on social media. Delete people who do not value your life and follow the ones who do. Follow people who teach you about investment, spirituality, physics, astronomy, or business, because although you may still have the same routines and behavior, what you consume and digest is knowledge, and it becomes something great that you can utilize. Learn how to value knowledge, because those who value knowledge will have the necessary discipline to seek truth, learn, and execute. Every change starts with self-love. Do you love yourself enough to seek the necessary information or wisdom to change your life and serve your best interests? If you don't want to change, you won't change. Okay, I hope that helped you understand what I'm saying or referencing in regards to getting on an autopilot mode. But being in autopilot mode is like drifting through life without conscious awareness. Letting routines and habits guide our actions, and to break free from this state, embracing the present moment and being mindful can act as a powerful anchor. When we're fully engaged in what we're doing, we break away from the repetitive patterns and take control of our actions. Reprogramming the subconscious mind starts with small steps. The key is to initiate change even if it's uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable feeling literally will only last one moment. I was just telling my client, I think a lot of us, we fear this long drawn out failure process, or whatever it may be, having this tough conversation with somebody. That uncomfortable moment it literally lasts a minute or a second. It doesn't last that long. Sometimes it does, but if you're in that space of like really doing and being in the present now, you're gonna move on to the next thing that's gonna get you to where you want to be at. So that uncomfortable moment is only gonna last literally a moment. It's about pushing past that initial discomfort and recognizing that habits can be formed from the very first day you commit to them. And I'm gonna explain how I met 19 Keys. I first heard about him the day after my dad passed away. So my dad passed May 20th, as I mentioned before. And May 21st, I was supposed to see him speak for the first time. A friend told me about him, and I remember hearing him talk about that, habits start the first day, and talking about being more in the now. And I don't know if it was the speech or I'll say it was some urgency in me to want to start now, because my dad passed away, and I feel like he passed away at a fairly, young age. He wasn't, young age. And I'm like, yeah, the time to live is definitely now. And in that moment, when he talked about those habits you want to break, I'm like, what have I been saying I wanted to do? And I was like, I want to stop eating meat fully. And I was like, and because of what happened that previous day, I'm like, I didn't eat meat that day. So in my mind, I've already been doing this habit. Even if it was for a day, I'm like, he's right. It only takes one day. And that day was yesterday. So I'm already on day 2. So it's already easier. So literally, I stopped eating meat during that time. And I act like I've been doing it my whole entire life. And it's like I created this new habit. And also in that short period of time, because like I said, of that urgency and wanting to get things accomplished and live out my dreams, I wrote a book. This all happened, and I'm not bragging, I'm just letting you guys know what you're capable of. But I wrote a book and published it and released it to the world. I started a podcast. I started And this is all of me getting outside my comfort zone and just doing things I always thought, or imagine. I've been starting my practice, but I believed in myself enough to let go of all those other things to know that I'll be successful in my business. And also spending more time with my kids. I finally created a schedule and a routine so I can be more present with my parenting and being present in my kids' life. And that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, when I say everything is unfolding in tenfold, that's what's happening because I'm being more present. I'm doing everything I want to do now. I'm not waiting. I'm not giving myself time. I'm doing it now. And not only that, I just finished my second book that will be coming out this month. I'm working on a cartoon and a mini-series books with that. And I'm literally doing everything I want to do. And despite anybody, I'm not letting fear or nobody hold me back. And I think a lot of times that's what we do. We let that consume us just too much. But back to his reading and what I had read, but when he mentioned about obtaining knowledge, and that's why I read to you guys, because I want you to get in the habit of obtaining more knowledge, become a seeker driven by purpose beyond your whatever is in you. It's like not even what you could ever even imagine. Create your learning experience by diversifying what you read. I give you these book suggestions. I mean, there's so many book groups out there nowadays too. It's so much to read, to learn, to hopefully get that information you need to live the dream you want to live. Because reading is fundamental for growth. I'm averaging probably a book every other day now. It was daily, but now I'm getting to some longer books. But diversify what you listen to. And I know this is a music therapy podcast and the music is less, but I'm going to talk about the correlation to music and mood in a later episode, because what you listen to definitely plays a factor on how you're going to be living your life. It affects your mood too. And lastly, diversify what you watch. I remember talking to a client about not feeling safe going to her car, and she lives in a very safe neighborhood, but because of all those criminal shows she was watching, she was scared that she was going to be kidnapped or taken because of what she was watching on TV. Same with reality TV shows. If you've seen a lot of drama, you gonna want, or you gonna, attract that drama in your life. And I remember when I first went out of the country, that was when Taken came out, and I was going to Europe, and everybody was like, are you sure you want to go there? And then me going out the country is being probably one of the first ones in my family and friend group to go out the country. Everybody was like really concerned and trying to put that fear into me. And if I would have let that, I would have never traveled out the country by myself and really take those. It was a school trip, but to really walk around Europe by myself and feel comfortable, not believing that somebody is going to come and kidnap me. And I'm not saying like live recklessly, but stop living in fear. That's what I'm really trying to get at when it comes to that. Lastly, I want to say surround yourself with meaningful content, people who just don't align with what you want in life. That goes not only intimate, as I mentioned last one, but friends. And I'm going to have an episode about picking that right support group, and that goes for friendships, because that's the biggest thing, or that's another influence in our lives. Even if we don't believe that birds of a feather, because it's true. But cultivate a deep appreciation for knowledge. It definitely fuels the discipline needed to seek the truth, learn and grow to be the person you want to be. And ultimately, it all starts with self-love, loving yourself unconditionally, as I mentioned in every episode, because I think that's at the core where we need to be. When we love ourselves unconditionally, I think it creates a space where there's less arguments, because it's not a lot of back and forth. We can have mature conversations and not agree on the same topic, but be okay with our understanding and know that we all have our own different perspectives. But really like I said, getting to love yourself unconditionally, it just helps you to genuinely care about your well-being and want to change, and you'll be more motivated to seek the necessary information and wisdom to improve your life. In essence, by being present and engaged in the moment, you can start the journey of reprogramming your subconscious mind. And we're going to talk about emotional intelligence in the mind mental in our next episode, but embracing new knowledge and experiences that lead to personal growth and change. So as we close today's episode, remember that life is like music waiting to be written, engineered, and played. So embrace the infinite possibilities by changing your perspective and making the choice to start now. I just want to end and say, if you can take anything away from today's episode, take away what I just said. The time is now. Start today. Don't hold yourself back. Seek the guidance if you need it. Go ask for help. Really, because this just literally happened right now before I started recording with a client. We were talking about how one of her friends or family members was able to appeal a decision. And I know this may seem off topic, but I think a lot of times, especially, and I didn't want to like bring in our race because I do that, but I'm a part of the Black community. But a lot of times we don't appeal decisions. We still living in this fearful mindset. And when I talk about appeal decisions, like if you get denied for food stamps, they send you a letter to appeal. Taxes, they send you a letter to appeal. Housing and different things like that, they send you unemployment, they send you these letters to appeal. But because we live so much in fear and thinking that we don't deserve the help from the government or whatever that may be, we let this pride thing hold us back in getting what we need. And that could have been housing, that could have been more resources for your business, or it could have been that extra money that you needed, but you letting pride and fear hold you back. And that's why I say start now. And if it's an appeal, make that appeal. If it's going back to school, go back to school. If it's starting a business, start that business. If it's writing a book, write that book. Do whatever you need to do to live the life you want, because that's why I'm here, giving you guys a different perspective on life. I want to just say before I say goodnight, like I said in Fathers and Fairy Tales, let's stop playing the game of life and really start living. But alright, as usual, I have left journal prompts, a playlist, and a book suggestion list. Alright, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, bye.
You just loving who you are for me. You just loving who you are for me. Baby, it's the glow for me. Your melanin done showed for me. Dripping from head to toe for me. Baby, come on and roll with me. Yeah.
You guys out there all looking all pretty and stuff like you.